Hi folks, my name is Siddharth, and this is Model Behavior from Box, where we test the latest AI models on enterprise use cases. Today, we're testing OpenAI O3, which is OpenAI's newest reasoning model. We're doing this by taking 3 different questions from different industries and seeing how O3 performs. We're going to take the question, go to Box AI, and ask it on its respective document. So let's get started. The first question we have is a compliance certificate for the energy industry. So I'll take this question, I'll go over to its document, and we'll ask it. The key thing that O3 needs to get right is realizing that the dates in this document are in the European format, which means having the day, then the month, then the year. I actually took this exact question and asked using 4.0, and 4.0 wasn't able to distinguish between the formats, and so it got the wrong answer. And so we're hoping that O3 can understand that this is the European date format without being explicitly told to do so, because this document is clearly created in Germany. Once O3 gets that correct date, it should be pretty trivial to get the right answer. So we can see here, it gets the right answer, 376 days. And the reason why is because we can see here, it's clearly getting the expiry date correct. And so knowing the correct formatting. Awesome. Let's go on to the next question. The second question is on an environmental engineering report. So we'll go here to our hub again, and we'll paste the question in. So looking at this document in the meantime, we can see how data rich it is. There's so many little pieces of data that O3 has to sift through and understand which are relevant to answering this question. So A, it has to pick out the relevant pieces of data. B, it has to tie them together. And C, once it ties it together and does all those calculations, it'll give us this final answer. And what we're asking about is we're asking about the amount of emission reduction under 2 different policies. So the difference in reduction, basically. And you can see here in this 26 pages, there's quite a bit of information that O3 is going to have to decide whether it's useful to their calculations or not. And so, and O3 will take a little bit to do this because A, it's a long document, and B, O3 truly is trained on, it's rewarded on actually showing its step-by-step process rather than 4.0, which is trained maybe on latency. So you can see O3 spitting out a plan, then a step-by-step process, and eventually it brings us to its answer, which is 26.7 pounds, which is the correct answer. But analyzing the output real quick, we can see that O3 starts by giving us a plan, then extracts the key pieces of data from the document that it needs, then puts them through formulas that it knows and just different simple calculation, and finally gives us that last answer. So really good. Let's go to our third use case here, which is a financial earnings report. We'll take the question, bring it over to our Box Hub, and we will ask it. And so basically what this question is asking has a lot of jargon in it. It's asking on an earnings report, which has a lot of financial information. And so we're using words like the per share impact, cash position of its tuck-in M&A opportunities. So there's a lot of key things that O3 is going to have to understand. O3 gets back to us pretty quickly with the plan and execution and the answer of 26 cents per diluted share, which is correct. And so we can see here, O3 is being able to parse through what do these specific words mean, pull out the key pieces of data, manipulate them, and give us the final answer. So what have we learned here, really? We're seeing that O3 is really good at these complex questions. It's able to figure out what key inputs does it need, and then what process does it need to take those inputs through to give us the final answer. What's really interesting is even seeing the second order effects of these O3's ability to go through this computation. For example, being able to infer that the date format is in the European formatting, because it's able to self-correct. It's able to see, oh no, maybe, as I generate this answer, I'm generating a contradiction. And so it'll stop itself and be able to course correct and give us the right answer. Pretty interesting stuff, and excited to see how this stacks up against future models.